Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing the continuation on chapter 1 sets on NCERT Mathematics class 11th. So this is the chapter 1 sets and today we will be discussing about the theoretical explanation for the exercise 1.4. First we'll discuss about what are Venn diagrams, then we'll discuss about what are the different operations on sets like union of sets and intersection of sets, and we'll also discuss some properties of each of these sets like commutative law, associative law, and so on. Similarly, we will discuss some properties again for the intersection of sets. So that's all for this video. So let's directly start with the first topic, what are Venn diagrams. You have represented sets before in the before exercises. For example, in the exercise 1.1 to 1.3 sets using roster or tabular form, and also in set builder form, right? Similarly, you can also represent the relationship between sets using diagrams, and these diagrams are called Venn diagrams. So these diagrams were named after the English logician John Venn. So that's why the name Venn diagrams. We can see here a diagram, right? You can see that there is a rectangular box and also a circle. The rectangular box is the universal set. What is a universal set? Universal set is the basic set which we take for consideration. For example, x is that, x is a natural number and less than 10. So the x less than 10 is a subset of the whole natural numbers. So the whole set of all natural numbers is the universal set over there, and the numbers which are less than 10 is a subset of this universal set. For example, let's take A's elements are 2 and 4. Universal set's elements are all the elements inside this rectangular box constitute the elements of the universal set 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. So you can say that A is a subset of this universal set. I hope it's clear. Now let's take another example for your better understanding. Again, we have a universal set 1 till 10. That are the first 10 natural numbers. Then B is a subset of universal set. We know that 4 and 6 because both these elements are also included in the universal set. You can see that 4 is also in the universal set. 6 is again in the universal set. Again C, 2, 4, 6, 8. You can see that this is also a subset of universal set. As I said, in Venn diagrams, you represent these subsets using circles, and the universal sets are represented using the rectangular boxes. So that's all about the representation using diagrams, representation using Venn diagrams. And now let's learn about what are the operations on sets. Before understanding about the operations on sets, we have to understand about why do we perform operations on numbers. We perform some operations such as multiplication and addition on numbers, two numbers, and we get another number. Similarly, there are some operations which we perform on two sets which give rise to another kind of set. So such one set is the union of sets. The union of two sets A and B is a set C. So from the two sets we have derived another set, that is the set C, which consists of all the elements which are either in the set A or in B. You can see that in this figure. You can see both the sets A and B are marked with red lines. These red lines means that this is a new set A union B, and in this set there are all elements which are either in A or in B. So this is the union of sets. Now let's understand some properties of the operation of union. Commutative law, that is A union B. If you take the union of both the subsets A and B, it is same as taking the subsets of B and A, and then taking its union. Similarly, associative law, what is that? A union B union C is same as A union of brackets B union C. We have done this in algebra too, right? If we multiply the first two numbers and then multiply with the third number, it is same as multiplying the first number with the second and the third number. So this is same as what we have performed for addition and multiplication in algebra. Again, the third law, the law of identity element. Phi is the identity of U. That is, if you take the union of a subset and with phi is what? It's an empty set, right? If you take the union of with an empty set, you will get that same set itself. That's what meant by the third law. And now let's discuss about the fourth one. What is that? Idempotent law. Idempotent law says that if you take the union of the same set, you get the same set itself. It's logic, right? It's correct. Law of U. What is that? If you take the union of the universal set with any subset, you will get that universal set is that. Because what is union? Union is actually you take all. It's like a and condition. And condition, that means if you have all the elements of U and all the elements of A is actually a subset of U. So if you take the union of universal set and A, you will get U itself. That's what written by law of U. Now let's understand what an intersection. We have already learned about what is a union. How do we represent union? We represent using U. Then it is a union of set. That is either element, we take the elements of, if there are two sets A and B, then a new set is derived, and this set consists of both the elements of A and B, right? The intersection is just a opposite of that. That is, you represent it using inverted U. That is like this symbol. This is for intersection. You use a inverted symbol for union. Okay. So that's for the intersection. Now let's read the definition for it. The intersection of sets A and B is a set of all elements which belongs to both A and B. So these are the elements which belong to both A and B. Only if the elements are both belongs to A and B, we can say that they are intersection elements. That is A intersection B. X such that X belongs to A and also X belongs to B2. You will understand this better through some examples. Let's discuss some examples of it. For example, let's take, there are two sets. Okay. In this set, what is A intersection B? Intersection is what? The common elements of both the sets A and B. They are disjoint sets. Here you can see that A intersection B was an empty set. Why? Because they don't have any common elements. But in the previous figure, you can see that they have some common elements, and that's why it is not a empty set. That is, here A intersection B is not equal to 5. What that means, it is not equal to empty set. There are some elements which are both common to both A and B, but in the second case you can see that they are disjoint sets and they don't have any common elements. I hope it's clear. Now let's discuss about again the properties of operation of intersection. Similar to what we have learned in union of sets, we have the same law of commutative and associative law in intersection too. That is, A intersection B is same as B intersection A. Again, the associative law, A intersection B intersection C. If you take the intersection of the first two subsets and then take the intersection with the C, it's same as taking intersection of B intersection C with intersection of A subset. I hope it's clear. Law of phi and U. If you take the intersection, is there any common elements between a subset? Let me draw a set for your understanding. So I have a universal set here U. Then I have a set A. Okay, this is a set A. And I also have an empty set. Empty set is also a part of every set. If you take the elements, for example, set A has 1, 2, 3, 4. And the set universal set has 1 till 10 elements. That is the first 10 natural numbers. If you take the empty set, what is phi? Phi is empty set. They don't have anything in common. So if you take the intersection is what actually? It is both the common elements of both the sets. There are no common elements, and hence you can say that it is an empty set. If you take the intersection of phi and a subset, it is always phi. Again, if you take the intersection of U intersection A, these elements should be common to both the universal set and also the subset A. So what were the answers of it? 1, 2, 3, 4 itself, right? So universal set taking intersection with A will give you the same set itself. I hope it's clear. These are the properties. Again, the idempotent law. Idempotent law is what? If you take the intersection of the same set, you will get that same set itself. Distributive law. Distributive law is also similar to the law what you have learned in mathematics, in algebra in mathematics, right? That is A into B plus C. consider this intersection and union as a plus and subtraction, plus as a plus and multiplication. So what you will do, A into B plus A into C. What is that? A into, that is A intersection B union C is same as A intersection B union A intersection C. So that's what written in this formula. If we wanted to prove this, we can also prove these formulas using Venn diagrams. That we will obviously do that in our later sections on the exercise explanation. We will be discussing that more in detail. Okay. Now, the next one is that prove distributive law using Venn diagram. Yeah. So, prove distributive law using Venn diagram. So, A intersection B union C. First, let's take three sets, and this is what? This is what? A intersection B intersection C, right? Just to show you what are the elements. Okay, A is at A. Then you take the intersection with B union C. B union C is that all the elements of B and all the elements of C. N of A is what? Elements of A itself. Okay, now what is the A intersection B union C? That these elements should be common from this one and this set also. What are they? That is what written in the third figure. I hope it's clear. This is the proof for the distributive law of intersection of sets. Okay. Now let's discuss the second part. We have only covered the LHS. Now we have to discuss about what is RHS. Before going to RHS, what is RHS? LHS what? A and B union C, right? RHS we have two terms. A intersection B first we have to take, and also we have to take the union with A intersection C. So let's do it. A intersection B is what? Both the elements of A, elements which are common to both A and B. So that is what shown in the first figure of it. And A and C, what is it again? The elements which are common to both subsets A and C. That is what written. You have to take the union of that and check it. Take the union of it, then what you will get? This side and this side. This is what in the figure shown. So let's compare with our LHS. These figures are same, right? And hence we have proved the distributive law using Venn diagrams. The last topic for the exercise 1.4 is the difference of sets. So now you know how to differentiate between union and intersection, right? Now we learn about what is the difference of a set. That is what shown exactly in this Venn diagram. You can see that the difference of set A and B in this order is a set of all elements which belongs to A, but these which and does not belongs to B. You can see that difference means A minus B means only the elements which are in A, then these elements does not belong to B. That is all the elements of set A which only belongs to set A. Let's do with an example again. Let's take the example A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? B is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8. Find A minus B. A minus B means set of all elements of A which does not belongs to another any set. So A only. You can see 1, 2. 2 belongs to B also. So it is not a subset of, it is not an element of A minus B. So 1, okay. Then 3 is okay. 3 is not there in B. Again 4. 4 is there in B. So we can't include in that. That is why 3. Again 5. 5 is not there in B. So 1, 3, 5 are the elements of subset A minus B. I hope it's clear. Similarly, we can do it with B minus A also. What is that B minus A? That is elements of B which does not include in the subset A. 2 is included in A, so we can't include in this set. So it is not an element. 4 is again an element of A, so we can't include in this subset. 6 is again an element of A, so again we can't include, but 8 does not belongs to A, and this is an element of B minus A. I hope it's clear. Now a special note about which will be useful for you in the further sections when we are discussing about the practical problems on unions and intersection. So we have already learned about different sets and about union and intersection. So what is this part which is denoted by red lines? This is A minus B, the set of all elements of where each belongs to A but does not belongs to B, and which are in blue are the elements which are common to both the sets A and B. The third portion is the yellow one, which is the elements of B which the elements subset B minus A, where all the elements belongs to the set B which does not belongs to A, only the elements of B minus A. So that is what said about these three sets. You can see that that's why I have denoted with three different colors. If you take the intersection of any of these sets, that is A minus B intersection A intersection B, you will get null set. Why? Because you can't see any common elements between these sets, right? There are no common elements. They are three different separate sets. So with this note, I am coming to an end on this section on Venn diagrams, and now we'll discuss the exercise 1.4 solutions. So let's see you over there and have a nice day. Bye bye.